In this podcast, we will explore products distributed by Cotelec, a French leader in the component testing market. We will introduce Fancort Industries, a manufacturer of electronic component forming and cutting equipment, and its French distributor, Cotelec. We'll present Fancort's products and services, including their manual presses, universal forming systems, and the Smartflex System. For any information, please contact Cotelec's engineers.
All right, ever wonder how those tiny electronic components get prepped for assembly?
We're about to find out. It's a fascinating, surprisingly intricate process.
It really is, and today we're diving deep into a company that's been quietly dominating a very specific area of this field since 1972.
That's right, we're talking about Fancort Industries.
Fancort, they're all about lead forming, essentially,
Yeah.
precisely shaping the tiny metal leads on electronic components.
Those leads, that's what allows these parts to be soldered onto circuit boards. Those are critical for making those connections.
We're talking about those miniature parts, the surface mount components, SMCs for short.
SMCs, they're in practically everything these days. Smartphones, computers, you name it.
And you can imagine the precision involved here is unbelievable, especially when you're talking about industries like aerospace and defense.
Oh, absolutely. Even the tiniest error in those fields can have massive consequences.
And that's where Fancort really comes in. They've really made a name for themselves by delivering that next-level accuracy, particularly for high-reliability applications.
We're not just talking about your average electronics here. We're talking about the components that end up in satellites.
Airplanes.
Even spacecraft. You can't get much higher stakes than that.
It's incredible. And they're trusted by NASA, which speaks volumes.
It really does. And you know what's really interesting? In an industry that's increasingly globalized, Fancort's products are still hand-assembled right here in the USA.
Hand-assembled.
Yeah.
In this day and age. That's impressive.
It is in New Jersey, to be precise.
That commitment to U.S.-based manufacturing says a lot about their dedication to quality control.
It really does. They want to keep a close eye on every single component they produce.
And I imagine that resonates really strongly with their clients, especially those working on these high-stakes projects where precision and reliability are absolutely paramount.
Absolutely. They want to know that every component is going to perform flawlessly, and Fancort gives them that confidence.
So we're talking about components for satellites, spacecraft, like the most advanced tech out there. But I see Fancort also has these hand presses. Are those still relevant in this day and age?
It's kind of surprising, right? You see these sophisticated automated systems, but sometimes a simple hand press, it's really the ideal tool.
Interesting. So when would they use a hand press over something more high-tech?
Well, let's say you're dealing with extremely delicate prototypes, or maybe you have a really small production run of some specialized components.
I see. So it's about that hands-on precision you can achieve.
Exactly. That fine-tuned control is essential in those situations. And actually, Fancort even has a specific hand press model. It's the 3300. It's really popular for those types of tasks.
Okay, so the 3300, what makes that one stand out?
It's got this really smart design. It combines this comfortable hand grip with these precision-engineered dies that allow for incredibly accurate lead forming. They've really thought of everything with this one.
So they've got that hand-built approach covered, but what about when they need to scale up? What do they have for larger production runs?
For larger volumes, they've got their pneumatic presses, their whole other level. The BP500 and the 5000 series are their workhorses.
Pneumatic presses, those things are powerful, right?
Yeah. They are. They pack a lot of force, but it's controlled force. And that's key for shaping those leads with incredible consistency, even when you're producing thousands of components.
And I noticed they offer a ton of customization options for those presses.
Absolutely. Different force ranges, stroke lengths. You can even get rotating die adapters.
Wow, so it's like they've thought of every possible scenario.
It's really impressive, and that flexibility is so important for their clients. Remember, they're dealing with components of all different shapes and sizes.
Right. One size definitely does not fit all in this field.
Not at all. Each component, each project has unique requirements, and Fancort gets that.
In this podcast, we will explore products distributed by Cotelec, a French leader in the component testing market. We will introduce Fancort Industries, a manufacturer of electronic component forming and cutting equipment, and its French distributor, Cotelec. We'll present Fancort's products and services, including their manual presses, universal forming systems, and the Smartflex System. For any information, please contact Cotelec's engineers.
So they've mastered both the hand-built and the automated approaches, but then I came across their Smartflex system, and this seems like it's pushing the boundaries even further.
The Smartflex. Oh yeah, that's where Fancort's commitment to innovation really shines through. It's not just automation, it's intelligent automation.
Okay, now I have to know what makes the Smartflex so intelligent.
Picture this. You have a component, right? And it has a barcode. You scan that barcode with the Smartflex system, and it automatically configures itself.
Wait, it sets itself up? That's wild.
It's incredible, right? The right tools, the right pressure, everything. It's like having a co-pilot for lead forming. And that's just the start. It also has this thing called closed-loop motion control.
Closed-loop motion control. Now we're getting really technical.
It sounds complex, but basically it ensures incredibly precise forming by constantly monitoring and adjusting the process in real time.
So it's all about minimizing errors, maximizing that precision.
Exactly. And when you're dealing with high-value components, maybe even those radiation-hardened ones, that level of accuracy is critical.
Right. The cost of a mistake in that situation, not to mention the delays it could cause, could be huge.
Absolutely. The Smartflex is all about mitigating those risks and ensuring those components are prepped and ready to go flawlessly. It's really impressive tech.
With this level of, I mean, it's clearly really high tech what they're doing. I'm not surprised to see that. Like, they work with, some really big names in aerospace and defense.
Yeah, you're talking Boeing, Lockheed Martin, even NASA. It's quite the client list.
So it's got to be more than just having cool tech, right?
Right.
To earn the trust of these organizations, I mean, those are some serious customers.
Absolutely. You're talking about meeting or exceeding some incredibly strict quality control standards.
It's like you can't mess around when you're dealing with, spacecraft and satellites and things like that.
No, absolutely not. And one thing that really stood out to me when we were going through the materials was they've got their NASA certifications.
Oh, right. I bet those aren't easy to come by.
Not at all. And they're compliant with all those ITAR regulations, the rules about exporting defense-related tech, which tells you something about the level of scrutiny they're under.
In this podcast, we will explore products distributed by Cotelec, a French leader in the component testing market. We will introduce Fancort Industries, a manufacturer of electronic component forming and cutting equipment, and its French distributor, Cotelec. We'll present Fancort's products and services, including their manual presses, universal forming systems, and the Smartflex system. For any information, please contact Cotelec's engineers.
Right. It's like top secret level stuff.
Exactly. And even, this is interesting. They even followed the JSTD00 standard, which is super specific. It's all about ensuring the highest quality soldering for electronics that are going to be used in really demanding environments.
So it's not just the machines themselves, but the actual connections they make. Everything has to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, they're really focused on guaranteeing that level of precision. Their work, it could literally end up on the moon. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good way to put it. They're not just shaping metal, they're shaping the future of these really crucial technologies.
And speaking of shaping, I thought this was fascinating. They even have a whole system for reconditioning damaged leads.
Oh, right, the MLCS3. Tell me about that. What's that all about?
So imagine this. You've got this perfectly good, really expensive component, but one of the leads is slightly bent, right?
Okay, I'm picturing it.
In the past, that component might have been scrapped, a huge waste, right? But they came up with this MLCS3 system that allows them to carefully, precisely reshape that lead and bring the component back to life.
Wow. So they found a way to essentially fix these tiny flaws and save these probably incredibly expensive components.
Exactly. It's about maximizing their lifespan and minimizing waste, which I thought was a really cool detail. It shows that commitment to quality.
It's like, if you're known for precision, why not apply it to the entire life cycle of these components? It makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. And here's another thing that I thought was impressive. They actually provide training on their equipment.
Oh, really? Where do they do that?
They work with some really prestigious institutions, MIT, Johns Hopkins. They're even helping to shape the next generation of engineers who'll be working with this technology.
That's incredible. They're really invested in passing on that knowledge and ensuring that these skills continue to thrive.
It's really impressive to see. They're clearly very passionate about what they do, and it shows.
It really does. So to kind of sum it all up, Fancort Industries, they've really carved out this incredible niche in a fascinating field.
They've embraced innovation, they've pushed the boundaries of precision engineering, but they also haven't forgotten the importance of that hand-built craftsmanship and attention to detail.
It's this really compelling blend of cutting-edge technology and traditional craftsmanship, and they've used it to become a trusted partner for these really demanding industries.
And they've shown that even in the world of, mass production and automation, there's still a vital role for that meticulous, detail-oriented approach. It's a powerful testament to the enduring importance of precision in manufacturing.
Absolutely. It's a great reminder that behind every piece of technology, there are these countless small but crucial details that make it all possible.
And as technology continues to evolve, it'll be interesting to see how companies like Fancort continue to adapt and innovate while staying true to those core values of precision and quality.
It really will. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Fancort Industries. It's been an eye-opening journey into a fascinating and surprisingly crucial field.
My pleasure. It's always exciting to uncover these hidden gems of engineering and see the impact they have on the technologies we rely on every day.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world of the technologies that shape our world.
In this podcast, we will explore products distributed by Cotelec, a French leader in the component testing market. We will introduce Fancort Industries, a manufacturer of electronic component forming and cutting equipment, and its French distributor, Cotelec. We'll present Fancort's products and services, including their manual presses, universal forming systems, and the Smartflex system. For any information, please contact Cotelec's engineers.